Mga ate at mga kuya, welcome back to Kuya Puto's channel. Nandito tayo ngayon at my favorite truck stop sa Brantford, Ontario dahil ngayon, driver sweet lover tayo. So, as usual, I dropped off si Mrs. sa office niya and we have maybe half an hour to an hour to kill. So, nandito tayo. Let's make a video. So guys, marami po nagtatanong kay Kuya Puto. Bago ka nag-retire, Kuya Puto, you told the whole world that nagtrabaho ka sa casino industry for 26 years. Sulit ba? So if you are new to Kuya Puto's channel, just as a brief background, I was in the casino industry or gaming industry for 26 years of my life. Yes guys, 26 years. Napakatagal po nun. That's over a quarter of a century if you put it in perspective. Marami po nagtatanong, Kuya Puto, bakit napakatagal mo dun sa trabaho na yun? Sulit ba? Ano ba napundar mo? Ano ba nangyari sa buhay mo? Gumanda ba yung buhay mo? So yes guys, 26 years nagtrabaho po ako sa casino. Specifically, table games department. So yung table games po, yun yung mga baraha, mga roulette, mga baccarat, yung mga sugal na kailangan umupo ka sa mesa tapos merong dealer. That's the department that Kuya Puto was in. So at the beginning, just like everybody else who starts in the industry, dealer po ako. Yung nagdi-deal ng baraha, nagdi-deal ng games. Ako po yun. I did that for a little bit until, not very long after I got promoted to become a part of management. Ano po ako, tawag sa akin floor manager or floor supervisor. Parang pit boss, ganon. The slang is pit boss. So I'm not gonna lie po, hindi po normal, especially nowadays, na tumagal yung tao sa trabaho ng ganong katagal. Like nowadays, yung po mga kabataan, they move from one employment to another every 3 or 4 years. And in retrospect, dapat po, ganon yata dapat ginawa ko eh. Dahil I got too comfortable. But at the same time, hindi po ako nagsisisi sa nangyari, sa resulta. So, as early as 18 years old, nakapasok po ako sa casino. Not as a dealer dahil hindi pa po legal nun, you have to be 19. Nagbebenta po ako ng chips, like playing chips. I exchanged them for money. Like players come to me to exchange money for chips. And then I graduated to becoming a full-time table games dealer. And then not too long after, I got promoted to be part of management, right? So sa casino po, nung araw namin, maganda po kita. As in, dati, I remember when I started the industry, minimum wage po, $6.85 or $6.95 an hour dito po sa Ontario. And my base wage po as a dealer was $15 an hour plus tips. Yes guys, we get tips. And tips would range anywhere between $10 to maybe $18. So really, as a 19-year-old young man, I was already making about $25 an hour or more sometimes back in the day when minimum wage was around $6.85 or $6.95 an hour. So napakalaking gap po nun. So really it was considered a very good living, kaya parang naging trap. I was warned by my kuyas that was older than me, that was already in the industry. Sabi po nila sa akin, this is a trap dahil maganda yung kita, di ka na makakalabas dahil maa-addi ka sa paycheck mo. And you know what guys, not gonna lie, I guess yun ang nangyari kay Kuya Puto. That's why I ended up staying there for so long. Number one, the pay was really good at the beginning, okay, before inflation caught up. And number two, the environment, napakasaya. As in, it's so exciting because you meet so many new people. You meet so many people from different walks of life, you know, and every day yung pong trabaho iba. Dahil there's so many games, sa table games that we offer for sugal. You know, there's blackjack, there's baccarat, there's roulette, there's pokers, there's let it ride, there's Caribbean stud. Ang dami, sky's the limit po. So depende kung saan kayo ma-designate for that day, iba-iba ang ginagawa nyo araw-araw. And the same goes for management po. So napakasaya. And all of the people that you meet, I'm not gonna lie po, I think I spent more time with my coworkers, who I consider family, more than my own biological family. Dahil I'm always at work, 5 to 6 days a week, 8 to 10 hours per day. So I spend more times with my coworker than my own family at my house. You know, so it's kind of hard not to get close to your coworkers. That's why, if you ask me, it was, I don't know about now, but it was a wonderful job. And on top of that, yung pong kumpanya na pinagtatrabahuhan ko dati, we were considered government employees because, you know, it was the casinos back then that we worked for was owned by the Ontario Lottery Corporation, OLG, which is a crown corporation, which means government owns it, which in turn means that we are considered government employees and we get so many perks, as in so many perks as far as benefits, time off, vacation, tons and tons and tons. So because of all of those reasons, I stayed. That's the main reason why. Nung pong bata ako, I had no family, I was single. So I was making all this money. It felt like I had the perfect job, to be completely honest, right? And even, you know, I started my own family. You know, I was able to support financially. And I mean, what more can you ask for? That's why I could not leave. But this is where the trap happens. The fact na hindi kayo makaalis, the fact na hindi ako makaalis because I'm so comfortable. Financially, it was great. You know, I could do the job blindfolded because, you know, you do the job enough times for X number of years, you become a master at it, right? So I guess that's what happened to me. I didn't want to explore anything else, you know? And if you listen to all of the business people out there, the successful millionaires and billionaires, they're all gonna tell you comfort zone is your biggest enemy. And that's where Kuya Puto was for many, many, many years. So what was I able to accomplish working the casino industry for 26 years? Ako po, totohanan na, hindi po ako nakatapos ng eskwelahan. High school lang po natapos ko. So, my job prospects, my employment prospects at that time, nung araw, it's very low, it's very little. Natsambahan ko lang po ito through my dad, right? My dad exposed me to this business. And fortunately enough, it's one of those businesses at that time, it's one of those industries at that time where it did not require diplomas. It didn't require PhDs. It didn't require schooling. But at the same time, you can make a very, very decent amount of money. So, swerte po si Kuya Puto that I landed in that industry. Ano ba napundar? Ano ba nangyari? So because of being in the casino industry for 26 years, I was able to find meaningful employment that paid me a relatively very, very decent salary. Number two, I was able to start my own family and support them financially. And number 3, through kilos, through teamwork, my wife and I, we were able to make some moves, very little at the beginning, and eventually build a little something to help secure our future. We were able to buy assets, we were able to invest because of the money that I earned and she earned from her job and my job at the casino. What are the drawbacks, guys? That it seems like all I'm trying to tell you right now are all the good things. Napakahirap po talaga ng schedule dahil 3 shifts, diba? Hindi kami nagsasarado. And as lumaki po yung pamilya namin, I had no choice but to switch from the favorable shifts, which is day shift, to graveyard shift, which is panggabi. Tatandaan ko po dati nung nagtatrabaho ko doon, lalo nung umpisa, ilang taon yata nagtrabaho ako pag Pasko tsaka bagong taon. Lahat po ng holidays, all the statutory holidays dito sa Canada, I was working. Dahil they would pay us time and a half plus 8 hours of loo time that we can book at a later date. So lahat po ng holidays, lahat po ng vacations, nagtatrabaho po ako. So wala po ako sa bahay. It got to the point where pati nga po yung birthday ko nakalimutan ko na, lalo pa yung mga birthday ng mga mahal ko sa buhay. Totoo po yan, dahil lagi po ako nasa trabaho, dahil sinasamantala ko po pag holiday na magtrabaho, dahil mas malaki po yung bayad. So I sacrificed a lot of that for many years. Ngayon nga po na-retired na ako. Holidays would come and holidays would go, and sa akin po parang regular na araw lang, dahil nasanay na po ako sa schedule na yun. Okay, for the first time this year or last year, 2022, I was able to celebrate Christmas and New Year's for the very first time dahil retired na po ako. Dati po lagi ako nasa trabaho. Yun po ang totoo. And because of this, isipin nyo, ang daming birthdays po ng mga anak ko, ng mga asawa ko, ng isa lang po asawa ko. Parang nakalimutan ko rin po. It's really sad, but that's what working in the casino industry does to a person when it comes to the schedule. Talaga napakahirap po. And marami po akong nakilala na nalulong sa sugal. Nawalan po sila ng trabaho, nawalan po sila ng pamilya, nawalan po sila ng negosyo, nawalan po sila ng buhay. Unfortunately, I've encountered several cases where talagang lulong na, hindi na po nila alam kung ano gagawin nila. Yun, magpakamatay. So it's really unfortunate. And then makikita nyo po, or at least nakita ko po on a daily basis, yung mga taong hindi nyo po gustong makilala sa totoong buhay. Totoo po yan. Yung mga nagpapautang, yung mga kriminal, yung mga lowlives. I mean, we deal with, well, unfortunately po, a good portion of our clientele are, I don't want to say this, pero totoo po to, it's the unfavorable members of society. Okay, dahil the product that we offer, unfortunately, those are the type of people that it attracts. Yun po totoo. And as much as I love the people that I work with, like I say, I consider them family because I actually spend more time with them than my own family. It can get very toxic. Dahil isipin nyo po, if you put the same people in the same room for a very long time, for years, something's bound to break. And it always breaks. Yun po ang totoo. But then, we all make up at the end. And hindi po maiiwasan, there's always certain people that's always going to be troublemakers. that's always going to give you a hard time. Especially, you know, sometimes, you know, they're in a higher position and they can affect your work situation. You know, that can contribute to a very, very toxic work environment. So yun po naging buhay ko sa casino. Okay? Masaya po siya. I met a lot of people. I learned a lot of things about not only myself but about life. And I would not be the person that I am now without my casino background, because it helped me grow as an individual. So, sana naman po na-entertain kayo ng konti and at least you got to know Kuya Puto just a little bit on a deeper level. If you guys have not subscribed to my channel yet, subscribe naman po kayo so we can grow this as big as we can. This is Kuya Puto Mendoza in Canada, wishing you good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Stay hungry, stay humble, keep your hustle strong. I'll see you in the next video.